Hi, my name is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I want to take you through making a very simple card using very few products actually. I know it's rather intimidating when you decide to try this card making journey because there's so many beautiful products and it all looks kind of overwhelming and a little complicated, and it's really not. So the first thing you need to do is choose a stamp set you love. I'm working today with the Dragonfly Garden. It's gorgeous. It's got kind of a fuller lined dragonfly, sorry, as well as an open one. So great for coloring with coloring pencils or markers. It's got a fun little kind of little dragonfly swarm, I call it. Really beautiful line drawing of flowers. And the sentiments are really nice. Thank you for your kindness. May things grow all year long, for a true friend, and you're an inspiration. So always nice to have a combination of images you like and sentiments that you like. The other option is to buy a stamp set that's all images and another one that's all sentiments and pair them together. So you want to be able to use it for more than one thing. So we'll be using this one. We're also using the Dragonfly Garden Memories and More cards and envelopes. So these are pre-printed card bases. They're pre-cut and they're actually a little bit larger than a normal size card. They're about 4 by 6, which is great if you like mailing photos with your cards. So they are also pre-scored, which means that there's a line that's been just impressed into the paper, and that allows you to fold your card base without worrying about the paper cracking. So very simple to fold that. And I forgot to put my glasses on before I started the video. All right, now I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just folding that, and I like to use my bone folder to make a clear, crisp line. You can also use the edge of your stamp block, and I will get to the stamp block in a moment. So just making a nice crisp line on that. So this is your card front with the Dandy Garden Memories and More cards. So really pretty dandelions, really. And the envelope front is printed as well, and the inside of the envelope, so really pretty. We don't need the envelope right now. So these come in a package of 20, and I think they're $13.50. So these ones are only available until the end of June. They're in the spring mini catalog. All right. So before I get too much further, this is, I mean, you could easily just put Dragonfly on this and a sentiment, and there's your card. In fact, why don't we look at what that would look like? So to make my dragonflies, instead of stamping them, I'm actually using a sheet of paper. This is the Dandy Garden 6x6 Designer Series paper. Also only available until the end of June. So it's got really pretty patterns and colors in here that all work really well with the card base. Notice I've used most of mine, so I don't have a lot left, but there are, I think, 4 sheets that are just like this one. So you can actually punch out these beautiful dragonflies. Now, I don't want the yellow one because I'm putting it on the yellow card base, so I'm just going to go and get our purple one. There we go. So you do need a pair of scissors if you're crafting. So I'm just lining that up in the punch, and this punch punches out the big image as well as the small one. So actually, before I get to that, our punches, if you order one, will come in the closed position. You slide this down and it opens up. Then you simply feed your, I always look at it on the back side so I can see what I'm doing. Feed your paper through, and I'm lining up the image. And when I think I'm happy with it, I'm just going to press part way down to confirm, and I am happy with that, so I'll punch it through. And then to put your punch away, just squeeze it and lock it up again. So easy to store. So here's our dragonfly punched out, and we also get a mini one. So isn't that cute? And then for the sentiment for this, I want to make a thank you card. And I'm going to show you a little trick as well. So these are the red rubber stamps. You'll see as well in other videos that I'll show you that there are also clear stamps. So the red rubber stamps actually come with a sticker sheet that you put on the back. That is also a little intimidating, but I have found a very simple way to do it and made a video on that, which I'll show you over the weekend. So I only want the thank you. Oh, I've grabbed the wrong sentiment. This is "You are an inspiration," which is lovely, but I'm going for a thank you card. So that's this one. So this is an acrylic block. You just stick your stamp onto your block, and then you can see what you've got here with the sticker on it. So the nice thing about the red rubber stamps is that they have a bit of a foam layer, so it always gives you a really nice clear impression. So I've got too many things out. Okay. So I just want the thank you, as I mentioned. I don't want the "for your kindness" on this card, even though it's a lovely sentiment. So sticky note is one of the tools I use the most, actually. They come in really handy. So I'm putting the sticky note on top of the words that I don't want. And then I'm using my black ink. And that did not stay. You know what? I'm just going to cut that so that it's not too heavy. I don't have the sticky notes that have the sticky all the way around. I think those would come in very handy. If I ever spot them, I'll buy those too. All right, so because I've got the sticky note on there and I don't want to lose that, I'm just bringing the stamp pad to the stamp. Now, very important, before you stamp the image, you're going to remove your sticky note. Oh, we don't need that anymore. So here I've got a regular white cardstock that is cut at 1/2 inch. It's actually a leftover piece from something else. I always keep my leftover bits. So that went a little bit lower than I wanted. I'm just going to redo that. Take two. There we go, that's better. So to clean off your stamps, you can use baby wipes or a damp paper towel, like a thick one that's not going to disintegrate. And I use my Simply Chamois, which used to be purple. You just rinse it out with water when it's dirty, and you are ready to keep using it. If you're starting out, I highly recommend the baby wipes because they're not expensive and easy to come by, or the dishcloth, not dishcloth, sorry, paper towel is good too. Most of our inks are water-based ink, so they come out really, really easily. So this card, you could do something like that with a thank you and the 2 butterflies, which is really cute. But I'm going to step it up just a little bit by adding more of the beautiful designer series paper. So I've already, like I said, these are leftover strips that I've got. So we're going to use those. So I'm just going to move these elements aside. So I'm going to start with this really pretty blue stripe. And I'm using my liquid glue for that. There are different types of glue for paper crafting, but I like my liquid glue because I have a few seconds to move things around if they're not quite where I want them. Whereas a lot of the other glues are permanent right away. For instance, this was much higher up than I wanted. All right. So that's our first layer. Then I'm going to add these dandelions. Again, just with the liquid glue. And then I want to use this strip. It's got a couple little dragonfly images in it, and I'm going to have it hang over. So it's too long. I need to cut that. Another really great tool that Stampin' Up! Offers is our paper cutter. What's fun with it is it's got the swing out arm, so it allows you to cut a sheet of paper from 17 inches all the way down to 15, I believe is this side, so really big. So if you are a scrapbooker and have those 12 by 12 sheets, this paper cutter is great. So I'm just going to figure out what size I want. I think 3.5 will be good. And you'll notice here I've got 2 blades. So I've got a scoring blade to make that line to make my paper easy to fold, and I've also got this cutting blade. And I've got glue on my finger because things are flying. Alright, so I'm also going to use my liquid glue to put that down. There we go. And now we'll bring back in those other elements that we had done earlier. So there's the thank you. And there's our dragonfly. And the mini dragonfly. So actually I'm going to put him over here. And I'm going to use the reverse side of the dragonfly, which is just purple. So it just adds a little bit more to the card. I'm going to use something called dimensionals to put the sentiment down. So they are double-sided sticky foam pieces, and they just add dimension to the card, which is why they're called that. So the back just peels off. And I don't want to cover the dragonfly completely. There we go. And I'm going to put dimensionals on my dragonfly here too and just have him popped up. I love this set. And I was happy to see that it's available in the annual catalog too. It's just the paper and these memories and more cards that are not. And I'm going to use just a little dab of glue on here. I've always got 2 glues on the go. One I keep down because it's got a pen tip on one side and then the broad tip on the other. And I'm really impatient, so I don't like waiting for my glue to move from one end to the other. So I've always got one upside down and one right side up. So this is kind of our stepped up card using the paper as well as the dragonflies and the sentiments. So I hope you like this card. This is a very kind of basic quick tutorial on what is card making, and I look forward to showing you a lot more over the weekend. Thanks.